The easiest way to always have a clean and tidy home is to not have a husband, kids, or pets. Joking. Or am I? Today we are talking my top tips for maintaining a clean and tidy home. So if you're in need of some cleaning motivation, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. Hey there friends, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips for having a consistently clean and tidy home. Now, I'm not an expert on many things, and I'm certainly not a cleaning expert, but I do take a lot of pride in my house and maintaining that cleanliness and just overall neat and tidy aesthetic. I kind of do want to have a Pinterest-worthy home, and I know that's probably unattainable for a lot of people, but it truly does bring me a lot of joy and helps to create like a bit more of a peaceful and calm mindset and atmosphere. So even if you can't get, that showroom-worthy home, if you can have it be a little bit more tidy on a weekly basis, just so that you feel better about your space, then that is definitely the goal here. So if that is something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. Now, typically for a more chatty video like this, I would probably do a sit down sort of segment, coffee and conversation style, but instead I figured that I would compile bits and pieces of different cleaning and get it all done with me videos, and just do a little bit of a voiceover to make it a bit more interesting for you. So if you do like these sorts of videos where I'm doing some speed cleaning and cleaning motivation, then make sure you check out my Clean With Me playlist for a whole heap more content. Number one is own less. Now that may seem like a very simple statement to make, but clutter seems to pervade everyone's houses and lives these days, so it is much more complicated to maintain. But if you can try and live a more minimalist lifestyle, it definitely makes things a whole heap easier to clean. I do consider myself to be more on the minimalist side, and it just makes it easier when I'm having to lift up and dust underneath and vacuum around, like a whole heap less stuff when I'm doing my usual cleaning. There's also less stuff that I need to put away and find a home for. Have less belongings over more storage. I mean, I like aesthetic ways to store things as much as the next person, but having more and more cupboards and baskets and hidey holes to just shove things into is not going to help you in the long run. Adopt a one in, one out policy. If you do need to update a few things around the house, see what else you can remove in its place. If you can't find a place for it, then maybe you should consider whether you really need to have it in the first place. Number two, establish a weekly cleaning routine. Tailor this to suit your lifestyle. It may be one portion of a day where you dedicate a big chunk of time to get the entire house done, whether that is a morning or an evening clean. You might like to do as I do and separate your house into different zones and do a zone at a time, so it seems a little bit more achievable. Or to break it down even further, you might assign different tasks to different days, e.g. toilets get cleaned on a Monday, kitchen on a Tuesday, bins and rubbish, etc. on Wednesday, so on and so forth. Speaking of places, have a designated place for everything. It will let you know when something is out of place and exactly where it needs to be returned to in order to keep everything clutter-free and organized. Having a nightly closing shift is another way to establish a daily cleaning routine before you go to bed. Of an evening time, spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes just zooming around and putting away anything that has been left out out for the day, tidying up the kitchen and getting things sort of set up for the next day. Speaking of setting aside a little chunk of time, if you are motivated by sort of time constraints, maybe set yourself a 20-minute timer, whether it is during that closing shift at the end of the day or during any other breaks or times you have throughout the day, and see what you can achieve in that 20-minute time frame. What are your top cleaning / tidying priorities? Number 3, have tidy habits. Establish a one-touch policy rather than thinking, I'll do it later, I'll put it away later. If you've already got it in your hand, just do it straight away. Speaking of doing something straight away, once you enter into a room, whether you're there to, do something or get something or whatever it may be, while you're in that space, have a look around. If there is anything out of place that needs to be returned to another room, rubbish, cups, beds that need to be made, little chores, do them while you're in that room. For example, while you're getting ready for the day, that is a fantastic time to scrub the toilet and wipe down the vanity. Number 4, make cleaning fun rather than an arduous experience. If you have kids, establish a weekly chores chart. Listen to music or a podcast while you clean. Have a reward for yourself. That might be, once I've got this cleaning out of the way, I'm going to sit down and have a cuppa, or watch an episode of my favorite show, or go to the beach, whatever your reward might be. Document it. I obviously document my cleaning experience for both TikTok and YouTube, and being able to create these fun, upbeat cleaning videos to motivate you guys also motivates me to clean my home and preserve it that way throughout the week. Make your own DIY cleaning supplies. Not only does that save you a heap of money, but it also feels a lot better to clean knowing that you're doing so with something that you crafted yourself. And number 5, make cleaning an aesthetic experience. Set your space up properly from the get-go. The biggest challenge is getting things decluttered, tidy, and organized, but once you've already got that established, it's a whole heap easier to maintain. Have purposeful decor. This kind of links in with number 1 about owning less, but you do want to have some beautiful or sentimental things in your house, but just make sure that they serve some sort of purpose. For example, I love having books as decor because not only do they look aesthetic, you can buy fantastic and beautiful coffee table books to go with your color scheme, but you can also read them as well, so they're quite purposeful. Having dried flowers is also fantastic because you can keep them for a lot longer and they look a lot more natural than the fake flowers you get. And if you decide that you no longer want them, it is very easy to chuck them in the bin or the compost without having any sort of environmental impact. I also like decor that doesn't take up too much space. So for me, I have been loving using the walls as a place to have decor, whether that is artwork that I've painted, artwork that I've sourced from different stores, drawings, paintings, clocks, mirrors. They're there, they're beautiful, they're decor that kind of helps to tie in with your aesthetic and your space, but they don't take up space that you need to then organize and clean. So those are my top 5 tips for maintaining a clean and organized home. If you have any additional ideas that are sort of go-tos throughout your week or during seasonal cleaning, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I upload new ones every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.